We're coming to you live from the site of the Happy Boolo project at 631 North Drury Lane in Arlington Heights. I'm Amy Myers.
And I'm Mike Baker. And we're really pleased to have you join us on the tour today because it gives us an opportunity to share with you all the exciting things that have made us happy since the project began in January, all the way to its projected completion in October.
This project is much more than a house renovation to us. It's really about an intentional way of living, grounded in a philosophy that actually tells the story behind the project.
The reason we are even undertaking the Happy Boolo project and renovating our home in line with the philosophy is because we love our Drury Lane, Arlington Heights community. For several years, we had looked for a new home with just a bit more space for what we love the most, sharing homegrown and homemade food with family, friends, and neighbors. But none of the homes we saw felt quite right. Clearly, the universe was telling us to stay. Sure, it might be easier to move instead of knock down walls or live with construction for months, but it would be really hard to find another Drury Lane, a neighborhood that regularly connects, socializes, and helps each other out. So naturally, community became the first and foundational pillar of our philosophy. And here we're pursuing 3 opportunities related to community. The first, how do we create a living space that really works to bring people together and operates as a cozy retreat for the 2 of us? Secondly, how do we challenge this stereotypical experience that house project equals headache and instead have the process build community? Third, how do we renovate the home to fit into our Drury Lane neighborhood? Once we decided to stay, functionality had to become the next pillar of our philosophy. Here we're dealing with a 1964 rather constrained split-level floor plan, the type you find all over the Chicagoland area and in many other U.S. suburban areas. So the question is, how do we transform this into a renovated structure that supports living what we love and fosters healthy habits? For us, functionality includes principles such as design for ease of movement and built-in resiliency. Our third pillar, sustainability. We had already invested so much in our landscape over the years, migrating from more conventional beds to natural gardening practices grounded in the field of permaculture. So here we ask, how can we extend what we're already doing to the full footprint of the home and further enhance our outdoor practices? We are very grateful to be on track to be the first LEED home in Arlington Heights and one of just a few LEED Platinum remodeled homes in the Chicago area. We are thrilled to have such a wonderful community of experts working on the project, some of whom will walk you through how we are bringing our philosophy to life in our Happy Boolo home. I'm pleased to turn it over to Mike Coleman, our architect, general contractor, the man of many hats on this project.
I'm Mike Coleman. I'm a licensed architect and owner of Smart House, a design-build company specializing in high-performance, sustainable, healthy homes. I'd like to share with you a project that we've been working on for the last year or so. Affectionately called Happy Boolo, the challenge was to take a typical 1960s split-level suburban house and convert it into a LEED Platinum and net zero energy home. How do we do it? Our approach was to try and reuse as much of the existing home as we could and design something complementary to the neighborhood, and do that all based on using the best science and technology available today. Right out of the gate, we knew we had a lot going for us because we were in an existing neighborhood and wanted to recycle the typical neighborhood home into something that could be used as a model for others to emulate.
This is a photo of the original home. Mike and Amy were interested in maintaining and strengthening a strong connection to their community, neighborhood, and street. The original front door was on the side of the house, as you can see in this photo. We realized we needed a front-facing entrance with a welcoming front porch. That required a variation from the city of Arlington Heights. Mike and Amy were very interested to try and capture as much energy and water on site to be used to power their home, as well as provide food source via site-harvested food. The site and orientation of the home provided opportunities to take advantage of solar energy in a number of ways. Here's Lisa Albright to talk a little bit more about the solar system design.
My name is Lisa Albright and I own Albright Solar. I've been in the solar industry here in Illinois since 2007, and I also serve on the board of directors for the Illinois Solar Energy Association. The project is going to have 27 solar panels, which should do about 110% of their annual load pre-construction. So because Mike and Amy had already lived in this house, we knew what their electric usage was in the past. It's a little bit of an unknown right now, but given that they've got a tighter envelope, even though they're adding an entire story, we still feel that this is going to do nearly the vast majority of their power usage for the next 25, 30 years. So it's been great integrating solar into such a great home design. The greenest house that you can possibly have not only includes the envelope, the energy efficiency, but also the ability to generate your own power.
In addition, by removing the attic space over the garage, we were able to create a rooftop garden and deck accessible from the back of the house and irrigated by runoff from the adjacent roof. One of the main drivers for this project was a desire to increase the functionality of the home in a number of areas. First, Mike and Amy wanted to be able to make it even easier and more inviting to share moments of breaking bread. For this, the focus was on expanding the kitchen and providing flexibility to allow for various size gatherings. One of the features we incorporated into the design is this light shaft thermal chimney. With a skylight located on the roof, light filters down through the main stairway in the house, all the way down to the lower level. The skylight can be opened, natural ventilation to be drawn up through the cooler air in the lower level. The entire exterior of the home was wrapped in 1.5 inches of rigid insulation. The existing interior walls were salvaged and reused as much as possible. The exterior walls were sprayed with 1 inch of closed cell foam as an air sealer. Bats were applied over that, then drywall. The roof and attic space were insulated to R65 with a combination of bat and blow-in, and the walls achieved about an R34. The exterior of the home is designed to respect the scale and character of the original architecture. To optimize indoor air quality and comfort, we chose a Conditioned Energy Recovery Ventilation System, or CERV.
Hello, I'm Ben Newell, President of Build Equinox. Welcome to our Net Zero facility located in Urbana, Illinois. This is where we design and manufacture the CERV Smart Ventilation System. Unlike traditional ERVs, the CERV uses a small heat pump for energy recovery. This allows us to actively heat or cool and dehumidify the fresh air as it's brought into the house. The CERV is a smart system because it uses actual air quality data to make decisions on ventilating the home. Measures inside and outdoor temperature and relative humidity levels, along with independent CO2 and VOC levels. This ensures excellent air quality and saves a lot of energy.
Coupled with the CERV, we are utilizing Mitsubishi electric mini-split heat pumps located strategically throughout the home. The mini-split heat pumps provide the heating and cooling energy. The CERV distributes the air evenly throughout the home, and the whole system working together is a very energy efficient electric solution to all the heating and cooling needs of the home. Selecting sustainable and energy efficient fixtures and finishes is also a priority. Here's Carrie to talk a little bit about the interior design process.
Hi, I'm Carrie, Design Coordinator at Giuliano Design. Together with Principal and Owner Julie, we are designing and curating the Happy Boolo interior spaces. Interior design is more than beautiful fabrics and fixtures. A truly well-designed space functionally supports the behavioral habits of the homeowner. An added and unique aspect of the Happy Boolo design process has been the careful and deliberate consideration around the sustainability of the products and materials selected to complete the needed functionality and the desired aesthetic.
Thanks, Carrie. Now here's Mike Baker to take us a little bit deeper into the landscape design.
Thanks, Mike. Amy and I are really excited about our landscape vision because it was the catalyst that inspired the whole project from the start, and has actually evolved to manifest all three facets of our philosophy. The foundation of our regenerative landscape is healthy soil, which will be full of biologically active organisms that work in concert with the soil's nutrients and minerals to impart heat, drought, frost, pest, and disease resistance to the plants we grow, without tilling chemical fertilizers, herbicides, or pesticides. We will continue to compost all garden waste and fallen leaves on site, and will coppice certain shrubs to provide renewable building materials for garden structures. The honey locust tree we took down in the front has already been milled into kitchen shelves, a fireplace mantle, and enough lumber for all the raised garden beds, as well as the wood chips that will serve as the bed's walkways. Overall, our goal is to create a landscape that uses minimal external inputs and produces no waste. Our landscape will work for us in that it's predominantly edible, and we will be expanding the diversity of herbs, vegetables, and fruits we have historically grown by adding select nut-bearing trees. The plants we choose will also be functional, whether that's comfrey used for chop and drop fertilizer or willow and hazel used for building raised bed fencing, compost bins, and plant supports. Our garage wall will provide a sunny microclimate for herbs and espaliered fruit trees, while the sun-drenched garage roof will protect other plants from rabbits. Our cold frames, raised beds, and greenhouse will extend our growing season, while the vertical structures we use in the beds and elsewhere will optimize our limited horizontal space. The architecture of the house itself will provide the function of capturing rainwater from the roof and garage terrace and then directing it to catchment areas in different parts of the landscape. It's also important to us that any landscape be pleasing to the eye, so the plants, shrubs, and trees we choose will also provide aesthetic appeal, while their supporting structural elements will keep the landscape tidy and organized. And we also look forward to sharing our landscape's productivity with our community. We hope our landscape can be a living classroom to show what a regenerative outdoor environment looks like, along with the techniques that allow you to create such a beautiful and productive retreat. Back on site here at 631 North Drury Lane.
Thanks so much for joining us on the tour today. And during these COVID challenging times, feel free to drive by, check out what's going on. We hope to welcome you back to an in-person tour next year. In the meantime, if you'd like more information on our project, please check us out at happyboolo.com.